The scene is set for Warcraft the movie, and we find out how Blizzard does on the silver screen. Laura and Jazz share their highlights from E3 and find out how to win one of these cute little guys on Pretty Much Geeks. We are at the private screening of Warcraft the movie. So exciting! I'm here with Laura and Saskia, and we're just about to go in. Just want to ask you guys expectations of the movie.
I don't have hugely high expectations, but because of the reviews I've read, but I am actually really excited. I really loved Warcraft, all the Warcraft games. I haven't played World of Warcraft, but I'm pretty sure it's sort of based loosely on 2 and 3, and they were my faves.
Laura, what about you?
Yeah, I have to be honest. I haven't heard great things from the reviews. Yeah. In China, okay, yeah. I heard the CGI was kind of dodgy, but I figured it'll actually be a laugh, even if it is. So, that could make it a better movie, you know? So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I heard Shawshank Redemption didn't do really well when it first started off, so I'm hoping it's kind of like Shawshank Redemption.
It's going to become a classic. Exactly like Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
Yes, but regardless, it's Warcraft. How could you not go see it? So that's what we're going to do right now. After the screening, what do you think, Laura?
I think I would be hard pushed to say that it was a good movie. I think, the plot is super cheesy.
But lovingly so.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I was like, cheese! I mean, it actually made, the parts that you were supposed to be serious in, it's it actually made them really funny. So I know, you guys were saying, you still found it quite,
There were
quite touching.
some really good moments where you were like,
Yes, that was exactly the face I was doing.
Yeah. But what I actually really did find, I loved the fight scenes. I was totally in there, immersed in the fight scenes. And I found, it's the first movie in the series. They're setting it up for the rest of the rest of the series.
That's
and I
right.
found at the end of it, I wanted to see more. I actually wasn't ready for the movie to end. So I'm like, well, is it a good movie? If you want to see more, then I think it's a good movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, the point of a movie is to have fun, entertainment, and it fully,
Yeah.
I loved it. I had fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we found out that Jazz didn't play Warcraft,
No,
so you don't need to play the game to enjoy the movie?
No, you don't need to be an original fan.
Okay, it's encouraging.
Too young.
But what was it you said in your review? You said, it's the poor man's...
Yes, I did say that. It's the poor man's version of the Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
But that is, I think, if you're not a gamer
Yeah.
and, you're like, why would I watch this? I could be watching Lord of the Rings. I personally... I loved it. I loved it because there were moments where I was like, oh, this is like me moving the mouse across the land, and this is what I would see.
Yeah,
So,
those top-down views were actually
that's
really,
right.
really impressive. Really channeled the game very well.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did a good job. And yes, I don't want to give anything away. So that review is online at prettymuchgeeks.com. So do look it up. And I'd be interested to see what you think. E3! Oh my goodness, this is a big week. Yeah, Laura and Jazz, this is your jam, so take it away. What are your highlights? What are we looking forward to?
PlayStation conference.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely the PlayStation conference, yeah.
So I watched, obviously, the Xbox conference came first, and I watched it, and I was like, ooh, pretty lights, ooh, pretty, stage and everything. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I watched the PlayStation conference, and I was like, live orchestra.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes,
Orchestra.
and
that
it
is
started
pretty
off
sweet.
with this amazing musical dramatic piece, and everyone's like, what the heck is this? And then it opened with a new God of War game trailer, and the orchestra was playing all the music live. And they continued on for the entire night. For every trailer, all the music was live.
Where have I been for all of this? Oh my goodness, that is epic. That is pretty epic.
So good.
Yeah,
that was
they had some really awesome effects as well. Like when Hideo Kojima came out, and he was walking, and the platform is under him as he's walking.
They had lights up little platforms, kind of making a little path for him.
Yeah.
And then he didn't follow it.
Yeah, he actually started walking too fast, so he's walking on air at one point.
I was like,
no, slow down, your path.
Okay, you're really selling this to me, so I'm missing out on E3 apparently. What else am I missing out on?
Well, apart from the live orchestra,
Yeah.
I am really excited for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I've been so excited for it since like the first
Yeah.
E3 2015. You can see more of the crafting, you can see more of the like dialogue options. Like,
See, so I was actually like crazy hyped for it in the previous E3 when I saw the first trailer because it's like, robot dinosaurs, and a female protagonist, which is always fun.
so excited.
I lost some of my hype this time around, and I think part of it is that, and I don't know if this is a temporary thing, but I found just the dialogue really terrible, the acting really terrible. It just pulled me out of it, and I was really disappointed about that. So
I wanted to love it.
Like I don't know if this is the final dialogue and final voice actors in that, or if it's gonna change, or
Probably not.
Yeah.
Since it's coming out in February,
so,
maybe
I don't know, like. But
a bit of
sell
time.
me on it. Tell me what you loved about it. I can be convinced.
I loved how like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a collector.
Yeah.
Like most gamers are. You go on to like Skyrim and you see a collectible broomstick and you're like, I have to get that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not like that at all.
So I'm really excited for like just creating stuff, collecting stuff and creating stuff.
Yeah.
And I always love games where you can choose your dialogue. Like
Yeah.
that always
Yes.
gets me. So and
Oh,
it's just
that's
everything
true.
like
Yeah.
robots, robot dinosaurs,
Robot dinosaurs. Yeah.
and bow and arrow and female protagonists. The setting looks amazing, and I like how like robot dinosaurs is crazy, but the actual story is her finding out where the robot dinosaurs came from and everything. So there is actually purpose to them, rather than being like, oh, this is a cool setting.
Yeah. What did you think about the combat?
Combat, I am actually super.
Yeah.
So cool, so cool how like you can jump around and do so many different weapons, so many different kind of like styles.
Yeah.
Well, I say so many, but like more than like just a gun and run.
Yeah, and it looked like it might be quite challenging as well because they showed she would look at the creature and it said it's vulnerable to fire, so then she needs to switch out her weapons, find something with fire, and like it seems like
But
there's
then
definitely
like
a bit of strategy.
jumped on her and like and then she's like, oh no, and then so like they got her little rope dart thing, tied it down, and she was like, haha, try jumping now, and I was like, yes, dialogue.
Which was no, but come on, that's really cheesy. That's really cheesy.
The dialogues do get cheesy, but like I feel like she wasn't saying it out loud. It's like in her head. It's like you would say cheesy stuff in your head, right? Your friend says cheesy stuff in their head.
Well, yeah, okay.
What about, I'm really excited for Detroit Become Human. I love Quantic Dream, so I've loved Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. I know Beyond Two Souls was a bit controversial, but I personally really loved it. Are you excited for Detroit?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, like,
Jazz is
choices.
excited about
The whole, like,
everything.
Yes,
I mean, I
all
saw,
the things.
do you remember, I saw the original, like, the one where, like, the woman was being created.
Oh, Kara,
like, ages ago.
yes.
And I was
I
like,
love the Kara
this
one.
is a game. And then I was like, no, it's not a game. And then they turned it into a game. And I was like, yes!
This should be a game. Yeah.
And I'm also quite into my investigation games, so I'm not sure if it's going to be all investigation, because the Kara side doesn't look investigation at all, but the Connor side that we saw in the
Well, it could
latest
be
one.
quite similar to Heavy Rain, because you're going to have, I believe you're going to have like multiple playable characters again. You're going to have Kara, who's the android we saw at E3 last year, and you're going to have Connor. That's all we know about so far. So Connor's playing this detective character. They're both androids. And it has quite a Blade Runner feel to it, actually.
Oh, nice.
But it almost seems like Blade Runner, like before the uprising, before like the androids actually like started. They're just starting to
just starting to,
defend.
like,
they're right when that's
defective,
happening. So because you have these deviants, these androids that are
I like that. They didn't call it defective, they just called deviant.
deviant behavior. Yeah.
All right, so obviously lots of things I'm missing out on E3 by not following, so I guess I better jump on board.
Yeah.
Is that it? Are we done with E3 news for
Oh,
now?
well,
One more thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. You can stop talking about PlayStation and kind of move on to like.
But why would you?
I know.
But there's a couple more PlayStation things that I wouldn't mind mentioning. So they did reveal Days Gone as well, which
true.
at first looked like it was going to. I know like Jazz isn't into zombie games. Yeah, because you don't like horror, right?
I don't like horror.
Yes.
Days Gone doesn't look like a horror, but like I still don't like zombies. So like even the non-horror bits in The Last of Us, There was, one in The Last of Us. I saw a zombie coming up from like far away, and I was like, oh, a zombie's coming. And it like took them like 5 minutes to get to me, and I knew they were coming. I heard them. They came through the door. They stood there for ages, and then I still screamed because.
You say this, but I know I've seen you play horror movies before, and you're just gung ho with the weapons, and you're just hitting everything.
Well, that's because you're frightened.
Okay. You're just like lashing out.
Pyromaniac, yo! Fire!
Well, I thought the zombies in Days Gone actually were quite scary as zombies go as well, because they're fast, they're jumping on you, and there's a lot of them. Yeah, like I actually, when I first saw the original trailer for it at E3, I was like, oh, it kind of seems like The Last of Us. I wasn't too excited, but then they showed the gameplay, and I felt just watching it, I felt really immersed. So I could imagine being in there, like my heart would be thumping, and So after seeing the gameplay, I'm actually really excited for that.
Just a horrible torrent of zombies.
Well, it's definitely my thing.
You got it. That's Laura's thing. There's a whole torrent of zombies.
Yeah, no, I love horror. I love being scared. So yeah. So God of War.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the God of War games.
I haven't either.
No.
Nope.
But it looked really
The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah, it looked so
The gameplay demo looked absolutely beautiful, and I was like, oh, this is like cool.
Yeah. This is another one where I was watching someone else play it, but I'm like, I want to be having that fight right now. He's taking down this like, what was he? He was taking down this like big
like a
trolley thing. Yeah.
He came under the bridge and from under the bridge and everything else.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I want to be in that fight right now. So, yeah.
I mean, it's obviously taking a much different turn from all the previous games, because all the previous games are just him being like, yeah, I am Kratos. But this game's like, son, let us be good.
Oh yeah, he has this little kid that he's guiding, and he's trying to get the little kid to like shoot the guy, and he just fails. He like totally misses.
It's really funny.
And then he tries to get him to kill a deer, and he has to like actually force him to do it. And that I struggled a bit with that part actually. I don't like killing things.
But I was like, this is a totally like a father-son moment that would have happened.
It felt like it had narrative depth, and I really want to play that actually, even though I haven't played any of the other ones in the series. So they sold me on the series.
Yeah, you're actually selling me right now. I haven't played any of the series, but I'm thinking God of War.
Oh, and we have to mention The Last Guardian got a release
date!
Yes!
So excited!
Yeah, it's been
Jazz is excited.
Again.
Well, because this is from the team. It was originally from Team Ico that did Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, which are really like much loved games. The Last Guardian looks amazing. It's been in development since 2007. It was originally designed for the PlayStation 3. So we've been waiting a really long time for a release date for this, and it kind of seemed like it wasn't going to happen at some point. So
until like last year, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's back!"
It's
and then this year, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's a release date!"
Yes. So that's really big news, and not just a release date, but it's October this year. So we're actually going to get to play this game, which is amazing. So it's about. You're this little boy who's been kidnapped. You try and escape from this castle, and you end up coming across this big, like really giant, furry bird, cat, dog, foxy. Like actually every review I've read, or every article I've read about it has described him differently. I've heard like dragon, cat, dog, fox, bird.
Animal.
So creature. But really, it's a story of the connection between the two. So at first they may be a bit scared of each other. This is the impression I'm getting anyway. And as you play the game, they end up forming this bond, and I think it's gonna end sadly. So this is my gut. We don't know. Like it's a guess, but it's gonna be a really touching story. I think really emotionally deep, and
it's definitely gonna end happy.
Oh no, everything's totally gonna end happy. Everything will be fine. They'll escape and run off together.
Butterflies, rainbows.
I say that because it's just the only thing I'm worried about playing is like, oh, what if like one of them dies at the end? I'll be so sad.
Part of you is like kind of happy as well because you empathize so much with that game that it really impacted you.
That's right. Yeah, I think it is going to be a really emotionally touching game. So
so watch out for that.
Very excited about that one.
Another thing that's really emotional is these Alpacassos. How cute are these? Actually, to be honest, I thought they were kind of ugly at first.
Oh.
But then we named them.
We named them.
Pinata.
Al Pacino.
We named them, but we do have to give them away because they're too up for grabs.
So to win these, just go to our Facebook page and comment on the movie or the game that you're most excited about.
Lots of rainbows coming your way. If you do go to our Facebook page, check out some other interviews. Not interviews, actually, because we didn't interview anyone. Oh, wait, Saskia did.
Just one interview. Check out that one interview we did.
Yeah, and we have other things on there. Reviews, Warcraft review. Laura's going to the Independence Day release next week, so check that out.
New Independence Day movie. So I've watched the trailers for that, and I think it's actually looking pretty good. I'm optimistic.
We don't have Will Smith in it, but we do
No Will
have
Smith.
Chris
Hemsworth.
Yay! Jazz is excited about this.
I'm going for the story.